The second issue of the Uncanny X-Men, 1963, written by Stan Lee with art by Jack Kirby, builds on the foundation set in the debut issue, introducing new characters and cementing the dynamics between the original X-Men team members. This issue is pivotal because it introduces the Vanisher, one of the X-Men's earliest foes, and expands on the team's mission to protect a world that both fears and hates them. Here's a detailed breakdown. The issue begins with the X-Men training in the Danger Room under the guidance of Professor Charles Xavier. The team's camaraderie and rivalries are highlighted here, particularly Cyclops' leadership, Iceman's youthful antics, and the growing romantic tension between Jean Grey and Angel. The story's antagonist, the Vanisher, is a mutant with the ability to teleport instantaneously. He uses his power for personal gain, robbing banks and spreading chaos. The Vanisher becomes a public menace when he announces his plan to steal top-secret defense plans from the Pentagon. The X-Men must stop him while grappling with the growing distrust of mutants by the general public. This mission serves as an early example of the team fighting to prove their worth in a world hostile to their kind. Key themes, mutants, and public perception. This issue highlights the growing tension between mutants and humanity. The Vanisher's criminal actions reinforce the fear and mistrust of mutants, making the X-Men's mission to protect humanity even more challenging. This theme becomes a cornerstone of X-Men stories. Team dynamics. The X-Men's personalities and skills are further explored. For example, Cyclops is shown as a capable, albeit stern, leader. Iceman's youth and humor contrast with Sanag with the seriousness of their missions. Jean Grey, Marvel Girl, continues to develop her telekinetic abilities and shows signs of being the team's emotional core. Beast demonstrates his intelligence and agility, often acting as the team's problem solver. The Vanisher, a new threat. The Vanisher is introduced as one of the X-Men's earliest villains. His arrogance and unique power of teleportation make him a formidable foe as the X-Men struggle to counter his unpredictability. He represents a mutant who uses his abilities selfishly, in direct contrast to the X-Men's ideals. Power analysis. Powers. Teleportation with incredible precision, allowing him to evade capture and commit high-profile crimes. Weaknesses. The Vanisher's overconfidence becomes his undoing when faced with Professor X's telepathic abilities. 4. Resolution. In the climax, the X-Men confront the Vanisher at the Pentagon. When the team's physical efforts fail, Professor X steps in, using his telepathic powers to erase the Vanisher's memory of his criminal plans. This decisive intervention showcases Xavier's immense power and the ethical questions surrounding his abilities. The issue concludes with the X-Men being celebrated for stopping the Vanisher, though public sentiment about mutants remains divided. 5 notable moments. Danger Room training. The opening Danger Room sequence becomes a staple of the X-Men series, showcasing their teamwork and individual abilities. Jean Grey's development. Jean's growing telekinetic powers are highlighted as she becomes more confident in battle. Professor X's telepathy. This issue showcases Professor X's moral authority and his willingness to use his powers for the greater good, even at the expense of an individual's autonomy. 6. Artistic and narrative style. Jack Kirby's art captures the energy and dynamism of the X-Men's battles, while Stan Lee's writing lays the groundwork for the complex social and ethical issues that define the X-Men franchise. The story's pacing is fast and action-packed, with moments of humor and drama interwoven seamlessly. 7. Legacy and impact. Villains. The Vanisher isn't as iconic as later X-Men villains, but his introduction is significant as one of the earliest examples of mutant criminals, setting the stage for future debates about the use of mutant powers. Themes of acceptance. The issue reinforces the X-Men's role as protectors of a world that fears and hates them, a theme that becomes central to their mythology. Team bonding. The interplay between the team members deepens, foreshadowing the complex relationships that will define the X-Men in future issues. Key takeaways for fans, first-time readers. This issue is a must-read for understanding the X-Men's early struggles and their efforts to gain public trust. Comic book collectors. As the second issue of the series, it's a valuable collector's item that showcases the early development of the X-Men universe. Historical context. The X-Men's fight against discrimination and fear resonates with real-world issues of the 1960s, making this issue historically significant.